What's up guys? This is Hazard510 here again, and just decided to make a video here, or a live stream if you will, for my friend Steve, but also for other people out there who are moving into console. For example, the PC people transferred into the console for the new generation of consoles. Um, this this little intro here that I'm making, or tips and tricks, could apply to both the Xbox and PS4 controller as well as the current gen controllers, but specifically the tips and tricks will most likely apply to to the PlayStation controller. Simply because I don't have an Xbox and I can't really say if these same tricks will apply. I do have an Xbox controller right here, which I'm going to use for my PC when I'm flying jets and stuff. So I'm going to be using that as an example of what can't or can be used as a trick. Of course, I can't use it to play BF3, but I guess it'll help show the future Xbox One, or the current, or the people who are buying Xbox or PlayStation right now to get used to the controller. It'll show them some nice tricks to get them easily started. And so right now I'm just gonna find a server to play in. I just finished uploading the video, so all the ping is all low for some reason. With the video that I just finished uploading was my montage, so you guys should definitely go check that out. Whoever is watching this. Let's see. I always wanted to play in Luton server, so let's play here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm actually gonna check right now, see if you guys can hear me all well. If not, this intro that I made was all for nothing. I'm gonna be pretty pissed. And make sure that you guys can see my controller. Alright, so first thing you guys have to know is that I use Control Freaks. Basically, it's just a little analog extended to give you a little bit more accuracy. I have quite a few of these. I have these close quarter ones, and I also have the sniper as well as the elite ones. I could show you guys, but that would take a little bit more time. But I guess I could show you since it is just a live stream. So right here we have the sniping ones. Just they are all the same height except for the close quarter ones, which I just showed you at first. This one is a lot more smaller, not that much of a big of a height extension. These are the original standard height ones. These have a concave of going upward instead of kind of downward like a skateboard. So I guess you could say they're just like the analog sticks from the PlayStation 3, that with that same concave. And you guys also, and I also have this one right here, the SPS Elite, which has kind of a concave with a design in it. It's not that big of a concave, but it does help. And these control freaks really do help to get that accuracy going. You can play on on the very low sensitivity, and actually feel like it's very high, since now your analog sticks is a lot more sensible, and you have a little bit more precision and more accuracy. Let me actually, let me actually. Alright, yep, I can hear my voice pretty good, and let me just close my window. So let's see, let me just position myself. Alright, so now we got that all the way. So right now I'm just going to demonstrate my shotgun usage, and It might be just, a good 2 hours of just you guys watching me play. So, do take note, guys, that there are other stuff to, so for example, if you don't want to take your hand off the analog sticks, there are like these type of contractions that, you, that are all connected to your controller so that you don't move your fingers off the analog stick. So you can see as I'm moving around and switching weapons. Of course, my webcam is kind of delayed for a second, but as you can see when I'm switching a lot, when I'm going down, jumping or whatever, my right thumb leaves the analog stick a lot. So as you can see, I'm just bunny hopping here, and I have to keep letting go of the right analog stick, which is what you're aiming with. And basically, how you can use this shotgun is you use it as a sniper, or if you guys have ever played Call of Duty, or if you guys do aggressive recon here, and ever heard of the term quit scoping, well, that's what I do with the shotgun, especially when I'm using slug, because of the fact that it's using like a sniper bolt, if you will. Oh, I got him in the first one. That was a waste of a shell. So it seems like they have the Jeep over there on our spawn area. Got him on the first one. Take note that, guys, that you can shoot as you reload your shotgun, but once you shoot, it'll stop reloading, so it won't shoot as it won't technically shoot as you're reloading, so you won't keep popping up a shell. So let me just waste a few bullets. See, it will just completely stop. Ooh, got him. Ooh, nice. Alright, so we got someone on C alley. Take note, guys, I've been playing PlayStation for a long time. I played it a lot more than I have PC, and this is where I originally played at. I had a GameCube, so I've been very experienced with the controller. And you guys have to take note that you won't be good on the controller right away. You can ask my friend Steve. He was playing earlier, and he was getting raped a lot. He had a few good games, but for the most part, we were playing with noobs, I guess. But he still did pretty good for just getting used to the controller. Fuck. One of the tricks for Battlefield, at least, would be when you're spotting. So when you spot, you press the select button, which is right here, as you can see where my thumb is, and it's right next to your left analog stick. So let me spawn real quick. So you see how I'm running, and I'm pulling forward this analog stick. I'm also clicking it because I'm running. I can always hold it. Sure, you can just click it once and you'll start running as well. So you see my analog stick going forward. And if I don't know if you can actually notice, but my thumb is kind of hanging out of it, hanging out of my analog stick. So it's just hanging out just a little bit, halfway at least, and that that piece of my thumb that's actually hanging out will is touching the select button. See? So whenever I'm running, I can just keep spamming that select button that I'm doing right now, and it'll just spot whoever gets spotted by my select button spamming. So see, you just have when you're running, or in general, you should, I guess, have your left thumb hanging out of your analog stick. so that you can spot people faster and it'll be a little bit more easier instead of going like this, having your thumb go out. And having your thumb hanging out of your left analog stick, you can keep your thumb on the analog stick and you can spot at the same time. Of course, no one's in front of me, but I'm just showing you guys how I could spot or press select at the same time as I'm going forward. I It can kind of work as you're going side to side, though it's kind of hard. I haven't really tried it, to be honest, and I haven't even put much thought to it. Actually, I just thought of it right now. I just asked myself, can I go side and spot? But I don't think it's possible unless you have a super extremely long thumb that's pretty fat at that side that's hanging out. So you might be able to do it, but for the most part, when you're going forward, you can definitely have your left thumb, hang out from the, just hang out halfway, so you keep the joint. You'll keep this part right here, the joint, on the analog stick as you push, and you'll have the other part, the big fatty, if you could say, you would have it in the select button, or you can have your whole thumb on the analog stick if you don't want to do that. And right when when you're trying to figure out who is that person far away across the map, is if he's an enemy, just slide your thumb slowly or fast towards the select button as you're going forward. The recoil management follows the same way as in PC. You just have to pull your right analog stick slowly as you're shooting. Of course, this is shotgun, so I can't really show how to manage your recoil here. But it's the same concept. But you can't really go all the way like this, just fast. You have to put it slowly. So as you're shooting, you have to slowly pull it down, and then just let go of it, or just put it back to the center. Because as you all know, when you're controlling recoil, your um, your crosshairs go down after you stop shooting. So you have to reset it and to go back to the middle. Same thing applies with console and the controller. You have to move your right analog stick down slowly as you're shooting, not like this, just slowly, just barely even moving it. As you see, you can see how my thumb barely moves. You don't go like this. You go slowly, just like that. I know you can barely notice it because you guys are looking at my front, but let me just switch it around so see, just slowly, barely even touching the edge of it. Barely. Just like that. And you guys can see how my index fingers are in, or whatever fingers you use to, touch these things here, these buttons. They're right in the middle here. When I'm like in my resting position, we can call it. I think this is pretty good because as it's running, you can just move it down to throw a grenade, or well, this is a knife. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen as I'm doing this. You can press this to throw a grenade, or just slide it back up to aim, and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Sorry. So let me slap on the Scar L, put a foregrip, and Cobra Sight. I'll ride in with this guy here. As I'm doing that, let me switch my squad. Of course, I can't really hear him. Where is this guy aiming at? Oh. Come on, man, come on. As you can see, I'm having pretty much a pretty difficult time trying to shoot this tank. Mostly because I'm not much of a vehicle person here in Battlefield. I'm very bad at controlling vehicles, but I guess if I was more used to the sensitivity here on the vehicles, it would be a lot more easier. This guy brought me all the way over here. I'll get on the left side. To switch seats, you would just press X for those people who didn't know. See, like just aiming for this guy, it's just so hard. There we go, finally. First kill of the day. See now, since I'm not moving, I can move my left thumb to press select as I'm spotting because I don't have to move. I'm not the one controlling the chopper, so I can freely move this finger around. It's something that's quite obvious, but it's helpful to actually say it. So let's just go down here and help this guy capture the point. Let's make sure there's no one camping. Crap, there's someone defusing. I'm gonna meet these guys for you, since I'm pretty sure they're talking in some foreign language. I won't go for the revive because that will screw me over if I die and do not protect this bomb. Alright, let's move in. Sometimes this mute action does not work at all, because I can still hear them. I guess that's just a Battlefield console glitch. Alright, I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. So this is my sensitivity here. See, it's not that far off from the N where it says normal. It's just right before it. That's what I roll with. If you guys are barely getting used to the controller, I suggest going like halfway. That would be, I guess, that for me that would be halfway of the sensitivity that I'm using, because any higher than that, it's a little bit too uncontrollable, especially for Battlefield, where everything here on Battlefield you need control. You need control over your weapon, and you need control over everything else that you're using, basically. So I wouldn't suggest, even for a pro, or even for someone like myself who is used to the controller, don't even bother with high sensitivity. Of course, it's your choice, it's personal preference, but I preferably and I highly recommend just sticking with the sensitivity I have, or not even, or don't go past halfway the bar, because anything higher than that is just it's uncontrollable, to be honest. At least for me. By the time I get up this mountain, this game is about to be over. This game is gonna be over, so hopefully my controller's still showing. I'm gonna go kill some noobs. Oh! That would have been perfect if I would have actually gotten him. That's game. Oh yeah, and on earlier on when I got revived, I did this. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but basically what I did here is there's a neat trick when you get revived. So, and this applies to all platforms. The spotting thing doesn't apply to the Xbox because, as you can see, the Xbox. I'm pretty sure this is same. Sorry, I'm pretty sure this button right here is the same button to spot. You might be able to customize it. I'm not sure, but if it is, you can't actually move to the side and press select because you wouldn't be going forward. So that spotting technique, what I showed you guys before, does not apply for the Xbox controller, sadly. For the keyboard and mouse, it doesn't really matter. It applies. To be honest, you can just, when you have your WASD, you can just move the finger that you have on A over to Q and just spam it, or just press it, depending on what button is your spotting button. But yeah, as I was saying, when you get revived, and this applies for all three platforms, you can press X and triangle. For Xbox, it would be A or Y and A and Y, and for keyboard and mouse, it would be spacebar and one. Basically, you're gonna press the button that you have to accept the revive, plus your the button that you have to toggle primary and secondary, or in keyboard it would be primary, which would be number one. You would press you would press X first, and right when you press X, you will press triangle, and that will get you off, and that will make you stand up quicker, and you won't have to go to what I call cement legs, which is basically when you get revived. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that when you get revived, when you get up, you can't move at all. Well, by doing that trick that I showed you guys, that I just showed you guys, that would prevent you from getting cement legs. Now that trick does require a lot of practice. I myself haven't even mastered that trick. I do get lucky and actually land that trick, if you will. But for the most part, it's kind of hard to actually make that trick work. So it's a lot of practice necessary to actually get it to work. But if you can, then that would be perfect. That guy is a total dumbass.